the seventh webinar MPEDA is organizing during this COVID period. So we are being communicating with our exporters as well as our importers through this webinar medium. So we will. I invite our Joint Director, Mr. Anil Kumar, to start the introductory remarks.
Very good morning to Mr. Jiro-san Takeuchi, our esteemed speaker today, and good afternoon to Director MPEDA, and a very good afternoon to all the exporter friends who have joined and is joining right now. Many are joining. Now, since we have kept the time at 3, we are starting at 3. Very good afternoon to you all. I welcome the Director MPEDA, Dr. Karthikeyan, to this August function. Thank you, sir. I also welcome Mr. Jiro-san to this function.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, Jiro-san. I also welcome our respected and dear exporter friends who have registered for this webinar, and also my colleagues in MPEDA head office as well as in field office. Now, before we start the program, today we are going to have a very experienced speaker who will speak about European market, Western European market, especially Germany, and he is Mr. Jiro Takeuchi, Director of BONMEA GmbH, Finest Foods, Germany. He has more than 25 years of experience in seafood import and trading, and he started his career with one of the largest seafood trading company, Mitsubishi, about 25 years ago, and most of his career he has spent in Europe, developing European market, and he's quite familiar with Asian suppliers like Thailand, Vietnam, India, Indonesia, and other supplying countries. So I'm sure that all of you will be learning a lot from him. There is a difference in today's webinar, and the webinar will not be a presentation by the speaker. Rather, it will be a question-answer session. We had circulated the request of questions to all the exporters. We have received more than 100 questions. From those 100 plus questions, we have come out with about 30 questions, and these questions will be asked to Jiro-san, who will be answering these questions. With this background, may I request our respected director, Dr. Karthikeyan, Director MPEDA, to give the inaugural remarks. Sir, please.
Yeah. A very good afternoon to all my friends in India, the exporters, and a very good morning to my friend in Germany who has profusely accepted our invite and joined to elaborate on the German market to our exporters. So it's an opportunity for me to talk on behalf of MPEDA. Unfortunately, our chairman sir was not able to join today because of some commitments. So, as you are all aware, MPEDA is trying to promote our seafood export, and we are hand-holding the exporters for the past 50 years. And due to unavoidable circumstances and unexpected circumstances during this year, we are not able to do the regular buyer-seller meets, and we are not able to participate in the international forums. So, to sustain the momentum and to ensure that our Indian products reach the consumers and our Indian exporters have a good field of play. So our MPEDA has taken a very good effort, and we have organized some 6 virtual buyer-seller meets. So the situation is very tough in the various markets, but still we are able to conduct some meetings, and we are trying to connect our exporters with the buyers in different countries, and we are trying to keep the momentum going. And this is one opportunity where our MPEDA has invited a buyer from Germany, and who has good knowledge on the Western European market, so that our buyers our exporters can interact with him directly and know what is happening there and what is the demand there, and they can tap the market there in a better way. So, from MPEDA side, I would like to assure you that from the sector, the Indian seafood sector, during this COVID pandemic time also, we have taken all precautions, and our products which are being produced and which are being processed and exported, they're all safe, they're all hygienic, and they're all also maybe in a very meeting all the standards which are required by the importing countries. So this is from our side, we can very well say that we are maintaining all the standards, and the exporters are taking all precautions to avoid any contamination to the seafood because of the COVID pandemic situation. Okay. So, and again, we have a very good potential in our European market, and we are doing a very good business with European countries. Though there are small hurdles and hindrances in the European countries because of the high standards, and we are proud to say that our country has the maximum number of EU approved plants. We have almost 350 plants with high standards, which are all EU approved, and we are regularly exporting to European Union. So I think I need not go in detail about the exports and the demand in European markets. I think our friends can elaborate on it. So I actually request my exporters, my friends in India, to please take this opportunity, interact with the buyer there. My friend in German, I think he'll be able to give a light on what is happening there and what can be done to increase our export to German as well as to the Western European countries. So I take this opportunity to thank all my exporter friends and my friend there in Germany. So I wish all the best, and I think our statistics division is doing a very good, very good job in doing this buyer seller meet. So I wish all the very best to him, and I wish a very great success for this webinar. And we will continue to do this, and we will continue to look forward for the support from our buyer end. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the encouraging words. And I would like to, repeat what Director said. We are here to serve you, both the buyers and the exporters, so that there will be smooth trade. And please feel free to give your feedback. We require your feedback, which will help us to improve our program in future. Now, before we start, we have a short video. Jiro-san, can we show a short video on the Indian exports? Thereafter, Dr. Jibin will give a short presentation on India's exports to Germany. Dr. Jibin, can you show the video, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
There was a time when normal meant normal. Now, we have a new normal, one that keeps us and our produce safe, one that assures our buyers and their customers that only the best reaches them day in and day out. We ensure that every step of our producer's journey is done right so that you are assured of the finest, safest marine products in the world. From thermal screening and protective wear for personnel to area-specific protocols and regular disinfection, the Marine Products Export Development Authority under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, ensures that all our stakeholders throughout the supply chain follow safety and hygiene protocols prescribed by the various regulatory bodies around the world to ensure the safety and quality of the products. Let's start with the product sourcing. The safe produce now moves on to processing. Now let's move on to the ports where the product is shipped safely. ensure that the product that reaches you is safe and healthy.
We have put in place a series of measures to ensure that all safety protocols are followed at every stage. From training to stringent monitoring, we leave no stone unturned in effectively implementing hygiene and safety standards by working closely with the industry.
The new normal is our normal.
Thank you, Jibin. Thank you, Jiro-san. These are some of the measures we take to ensure that the COVID epidemic is kept under control in our processing units, and also to make sure that safe seafood is prepared. In fact, we have started a auditing program and training program for all our processing units on following the COVID guidelines. This is an initiative we have taken during the last 4 months. We are training up the processing units. Can I ask Dr. Jibin to give his short 5 minutes presentation, please?
Okay, thank you, Anil sir. So I will start the presentation. I will give a general picture of our exports and what is our export performance to EU in general and to Germany in particular. So we'll start with the presentation. Are you able to see the slide, sir?
Yes,
Hello?
we can see now.
Okay. So this is the export performance of marine products.
Jiro-san, can you see?
Okay.
Thank you.
So in the decadal export scenario of marine products, we have improved our exports in multifolds from 2010-11 at the range of 2.8 billion US dollar exports to around 6.679 billion US dollars last year. In between, we had a all-time high exports of about 7.1 billion US dollars during 2017-18. But in the last 2 years, we are experiencing a slight dip in the exports, and this year also we are expecting that dip due to this COVID scenario. So we already export to around 113 countries, and we have about our top 5 countries which contribute about 72.1% in US dollar our exports. So in the market-wise total export scenario, the USA, China in quantity-wise, China leads the consumes the most of our Indian seafood by quantity. About 26% of our exports in quantity is being imported by China, followed by USA around 24%, Southeast Asia 17%, European Union quantity-wise only 13%. So, but in the value-wise, USA leads with the 38% share in the total exports, followed by China with the 21%, and European Union again with the 13%. European Union, both quantity and value, is pegged at the 13% of India's total seafood exports. So coming to the item-wise exports, total exports, frozen shrimp is our major stake, contributing 51% of the total exports in terms of quantity, and 73% in terms of US dollar earnings. So this is the followed by shrimp is followed by frozen fish, other items, frozen skewed, dried items, cuttlefish, chilled item, live item, etc. In US dollar wise, after frozen shrimp, frozen fish comes. Then the other items include surimi products and surimi analog products. These are the main contributor to this other category, followed by frozen skewed, cuttlefish, and dried items. So coming to EU, the export trend for the last 5 years, we had quantity-wise, we are experiencing a slight dip after 2017-18. So it was about 0.19 million metric tons was exported during 2017-18, which was reduced to 0.16 million tons, and it is retained again during last year also 1.16 million tons of material is being exported. And value-wise, all-time high was around 1,116 million US dollars, and last year it is reduced to 876.47 million US dollars. So to EU also, the frozen shrimp is the major item contributing around 45% of our total exports, and in value wise, US dollar wise, it is around 59%. And the major second items wise in value wise is cuttlefish, contributing 17%, and skewed in quantity wise it is skewed, contributing 21%. So coming to Germany, for last 5 years, we are almost stable exports to Germany. In 2015-16, it was around 36.69 million US dollars. Now it is 32.96 million US dollars. We are exporting around 5,291 metric tons of materials to Germany. Germany is the fourth largest market for Indian seafoods in EU. So item wise, we can see again frozen shrimp is a major. It's almost a major chunk, means almost 82% of our exports to Germany is frozen shrimps in quantity wise, and value wise almost 87%. Only all other items contribute only 13%. The next important item to Germany is frozen fish, then chilled fish, dried items, others, and frozen skewed cuttlefish. So this is one of the important slide we have prepared based on the top performance of Indian seafoods in top 10 countries in EU. We are also extracted the total imports of each of these countries. UK last year it was with EU. Now they are not the part of EU. The first total, the major exporter being Spain, followed by Italy. Then France and then Germany. Germany is the fourth largest importer of Indian seafoods. But if you see the percentage share compared to the total seafood imports by these top 10 countries, we can see the percentage is very, very minimal. So maximum exports from India is done by Belgium, followed by Lithuania. So around 5.9 or 6%, maximum 6% exports are contributed by seafood from India. So in coming to Germany, it is only less than 1%, 0.6% of total imports, seafood imports of Germany is from India. So this is an important slide, so that there's further lot of scope available for Indian exporters to focus on EU seafood market, especially Germany. So I come to the end of this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jibin, for the informative presentation. I hope all the exporters have found it useful. All the participants have found it useful. And I also think Jiro-san has got some inputs about our export share in European markets. You can see, except in the trading ports like Belgium, Netherlands, Lithuania, which are basically trading ports, other areas, other markets, our market share is very, very minimal.
Right.
So Jiro-san, with these words, shall we start with the question answer session?
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, the slide has come. My dear participants, let me once again remind you, in this webinar, we are going to have a question answer session. And these questions were collected from our exporters. We got more than 150 questions. We have curated them to about 30. And we are going to present these questions to Jiro-san. And Jiro-san will answer these questions. If you have any supplementary questions or any new questions coming up during this Q&A session, please feel free to post it in the Q&A session. we will ask towards the end of the session, we will ask the Jiro-san of the supplementary questions also. And next slide, please.
You can control, sir. Actually, you can control.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as I said, participants can ask the questions via the chat box. Please feel free to do that. And also very important, we are very, very keen to know your feedback about this webinar or any other matter which you would like to let us know. Please send us the feedback so that which will help us to improve our performance, and also attend the poll. Some questions will be coming to you so that you can attend those questions. Jiro-san, now we have come to the first question, and this is a general question. Which are the major seafood products preferred in Germany? We are going to start with Germany.
Yeah, in terms of consumption, Alaska pollock, number one. Germany is a very stingy. It's not a stingy. I mean, the consuming market is a very price sensitive.
Okay.
So is it salmon or Alaskan pollock? They compete on the top in the consumption. But Alaska pollock has been this year taking over salmon. Number two, salmon. Number three is a tuna bonito, but mostly it's not the tuna steaks, but including the canned.
Okay.
Number four, herring, which is also very cheap products. Number five comes shrimp. As you know, shrimp, Germany does also have shrimp local catch, which is processed in Netherlands, to many of you, you know, and but they import as well. And number six, trout. That would be the main seafood products.
Okay,
in Germany.
So you said number five is shrimp. Probably salmon and shrimp may be almost in the same price category. Probably shrimp.
In terms of price, yes.
Yeah, in terms of price. So probably shrimp has the potential to increase to somewhere near salmon in future. What do you think?
Salmon is very easy to eat.
Okay.
Shrimp is not so easy for them to eat. Is to cook. They can. I think we have to promote more different ways of eating. Where salmon they can just put in a steak. It's like eating a steak.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the next question is demand for shrimp, Wanami shrimp, in the coming months in Germany. How about products such as PD and PUD? The scope of these products in Germany?
Yeah, the PD and PUD market in Germany goes mostly, I think many of you saw, to Hamburg, which goes to the wholesales. That market have been stopped a little bit because of the COVID. Germany is now on the lockdown until mid-January for sure. And so the demand for the food service will be, if we in existence, will be very low. And I think the food service is not going to recover so fast, even after the lockdown. On the other hand, the retail sales continue to grow a lot. Not as much on the PD, PUD, but I would say in shrimp, especially cooked shrimp, or that's been growing quite a lot. Just to get an idea, between cooked and raw would be about 70% cooked for 30% raw on the sales ratio in the supermarkets, in the retail.
Okay.
On the food service, of course, the raw has a bigger share than 30%, but on the retail, they just eat cooked shrimp.
So 70% of the shrimp demand in retail is for cooked shrimp?
Or processed, marinated or something.
All right.
Not
ready to eat or ready to cook items.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Next question is, what are the 3 actions India need to, take to increase our market share in Germany from, say, less than 0.5% to, let's say, 5%? In your opinion, what should be India's action? Indian exporters, what should they do?
I love this question because this is one of the most important questions. The future of India has a future. for sure, Europe will have to buy from India. First, because India has the volume. You can only buy if you have a volume. So number one is India already is the volume. So that's out of the question. The next step would be the combination of food safety, quality assurance, and certifications. I think these are all together. The consumer confidence comes from these food safety, quality assurance, and certifications. Certifications opens the door. Then after comes the confidence, consumer confidence. Okay. Once they start to buy the products, they will have confidence on the food safety, quality assurance, quality of the product also. And number three, I would say marketing promotion. I think it's not only the Indian shrimp, but shrimp in general. The German people don't know how to eat shrimp. If you saw the 5 main items, it's fish. So it's Europeans in general, the North European, not the South. Okay. They don't have a creativity how to eat shrimp in different ways, apart from barbecue or curries.
So it will be good to promote different types of cooking cooking styles of shrimp in the market.
I think so.
That would be a good marketing activity.
Especially in Germany, I would say they are used to those curry type marinated things. So we're better than India to do that. I mean, it's the champion of curries, right?
Yes. Thank you. So what you are saying is 3 things which, in your opinion, India needs to do is, one is to go for certification. Second is to improve the quality, or promote the quality.
To achieve consumer confidence. I'm sure many of the factories already have the food safety plans, quality assurance plans, but the German consumer needs to get the assurance.
Consumer confidence. Okay. Yeah. So that there are various certifications to help us to achieve that also, I believe.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. And the third one is promotion. And I would like to inform you that we are going to start a cookery demonstration and campaign very soon. In a couple of days' time, we will be starting that. Thank you. So the next question will be on what are the main products Germany imports from India, and what is the overall preference for Indian seafood among the buyers and seafood consumers in Germany. Already, Jibin has shown in his presentation what are the major products Germany is importing. Major one is Indian, shrimp, and followed by some chilled items. So if you can add to that, that would be nice.
Yeah, actually, German is in terms of shrimp, the sales of frozen is quite larger than compared to other countries like a UK. The UK, the chilled is very large indeed, but the German market accepts frozen shrimp, which is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity because cost-wise, the chilled and the frozen is a totally different market penetration. I would say the main products from India would still be shrimp, yes, of course, and it will be at the moment raw PUD, PDs products. What I would like to see is to see Indian packets getting approved for cooked products. Then we will see more into the retail. But anyway, there's another question for that, I think.
Right. Thank you. So, there is one question from one of our participants. What is the consumption for cephalopods, like squid and cuttlefish, in Germany?
Yeah, this goes mostly for the ethnic market.
Ethnic market, okay.
Yes, it's very little. Very little consumption. If you compare to Spain, Portugal, France, Italy, they are big consumers. Germans, not so much. It's a very little.
Thank you. And the next question is, what is the percentage of reprocessing of seafood in Germany? Do they do any reprocessing? You mentioned that the local catch of shrimp in Germany goes to Netherlands for reprocessing. But Germany does any reprocessing?
Germany is the biggest fish processing country in Europe. Because they were located in the North Sea, they used to have the cod and the whitefish available. Nowadays, the biggest they used to import a lot from China, USA, now Poland, for Alaska pollock and this. But it's a processing of fish, not so much processing of shrimp. Not so many cooking facilities like UK, France, Spain, Portugal.
Okay. So maybe this question may not be much relevant, but still, since they have asked, I'm repeating. What are the requirements of German reprocessors to relocate value-added processing to India?
Yes. In the question number 3, confidence, food safety, quality assurance. Products from Germany, product from India. The consumer has to have the confidence. If you say a TV made in China, or a car made in China, or a car made in Germany, they will pay a little bit more for the made in Germany car. But also the machines are so optimized. The Germans, they don't eat many varieties. So advantage for India or any processing country, manual processing, would be more complicated value-added products. If you say breaded, in Germany, it's all done by machines, so the cost is very low. If you try to do in India, lack of product, lack of people, lack of workers, salary increase would be all barriers.
Mm-hmm.
So automation, food, and the consumer confidence.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Can we go to next question? Yeah. Question number 7. What is the expected impact of impending Brexit, that is exit of Britain from European Union, on the German frozen food, seafood market?
I think it's not much in terms of trade. Germany doesn't export too much seafood into UK, but there will be a big impact for British. Not big. It will be on the fisheries things, not particularly with Germany. Is the EU in general. So on Germany, it's very little. You can see that Germany is bullying UK because they have nothing much to lose. Only the UK have to lose, actually. That would be my opinion. There are some minor trades done. My company also, we are obliged to open a company in UK now because to avoid complications.
Okay.
So that would be mostly paperwork.
Okay, more paperwork. Yeah, understood.
Means cost.
Yeah, that means more cost. Yes. The next question is the sale of convenience products for home consumption through retail and e-commerce platform shows an increasing trend. You mentioned it already. And what should an exporting company do to, capture this market through e-commerce platform? And what are the major e-commerce platforms for seafood or food in Europe? So 2 questions. One is what Indian companies should do to capture this e-commerce platform. And second is what are the major e-commerce platforms for food in Europe?
In Europe. Sorry, I was looking to Germany. Sorry, in Europe. Actually, to start with, the e-commerce is not as developed for food. Is not for frozen food. Is not as developed as it is in China or USA, even more developed. The e-commerce, when we think about e-commerce, is Amazon or this eBay or something like that. But they are more dry goods or dry consumer products. Yeah. For frozen, I would say still the supermarkets e-commerce platforms are still able to dominate the market for the moment. There will be more coming, more developed, but at the moment is the supermarket e-commerce. And that has been booming. Is because of COVID also increased the speed of it. The supermarkets, they were already 5 years ago starting that trend. so the COVID just accelerated to unexpected. They don't have the capacity even to serve, so you have to get slots of deliveries in a week or 2 weeks wait because there's not enough drivers.
Are you saying that the supermarkets are doing home delivery also?
They have their own trucks for delivery, and they have also the e-commerce model, which is they created a central or pickup. So you buy everything on the internet, and you go and pick up the goods and out, in and out, so no contact at all.
Okay, so you as a consumer, you make your order through their website portal, and it will be delivered to a central point nearer to your home. You go and collect from there.
I go and collect, and I drive in, put my ticket, they load my car, and I go out. They call it the drive-in. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we go to the next question? Okay. What is the price trend after COVID epidemic? We are asking you to predict the price. And is there any new development in the market with regard to the imports post-COVID?
Post-COVID, there will be, I think, innovations, a lot of opportunity for innovation. People will, the consumer will get used to the COVID. What will change? They are more concerned about health. Seafood is associated to health, so there has been a lot of increase in the seafood consumption due to COVID. The cost has gone up, but is mostly due to logistics. The logistic costs increased a lot. First, we don't have space, we don't have delivery resources. And another thing, of course, is psychological. I mean, seafood imported from China reduced, and China was one of the biggest exporters into Germany. I see a lot of opportunity post-COVID. The market will be open for everything new. Whatever was good before was not good anymore. And whoever is quicker, I think there will be a lot of opportunity opening.
Okay. It's interesting. Yeah. Next question is, do you expect any chance of a screening system for COVID in seafood to come up in any of the market? Not only Germany, any other European markets? Any kind of news you are getting?
Apart from China, I would say no. The US also is not really doing. So Europe also is a nonsense, non-confirmed. I think it's more political than.
Understand. Next question is on the again consumer preference. What is the change in the consumer preference for seafood post COVID-19 in terms of product type, packaging style, and the species? This is kind of the more detailed question than we were the question number 9, I think.
Yeah.
There is also a supplementary question. What is the demand for sea caught shrimp? One of our participants is asking, what is the demand for sea caught shrimp in Germany?
Germany is a big. It's not big, but it's big not compared to India. But I mean, big in Europe for a sea caught shrimp. They have they have their own local shrimp, which is processed in Holland, as we all know. But sea caught, I think the question is, what's the opportunity for Indian sea caught shrimp?
Yeah,
I think I would be more specific. And if you think about Germany, well, there's always been this. Germany has a big market for those sea caught, especially the Indian karikari, provolone, and these in the deep sea.
Okay.
So that size of shrimp, there's a big demand for it. But now with the Vaname smaller size, it goes to the salad. The salad industry in Germany is very big. The Germans, they do this kind of brined shrimp. They do in the salads. They put shrimp in salads. And the deep sea or kari provolone would be a huge potential to that market. The main problem is that it's a ready-to-eat product. So it's always been a challenge for getting the microbiological standards to the lowest level. This not only Germany, but Denmark, which is a big brining industry also. Many Indian producers are not able to meet the demands, the high demands of. It's not a simple EU demand, but they have in addition a very low microbiological.
Okay, that's a challenge. So what you're saying is there's a huge demand for small size salad shrimp in Germany or in Denmark and other countries, but the stringent microbiological standards is the major challenge.
It is. I think.
But how about you are talking about Karikadi Puvalan? Can this cultured shrimp like Vanami shrimp can enter that segment? Will it be feasible?
They started to. I think if you go to country like Vietnam, producing even PUD shrimps on the 100, 200 pieces. So not on the 300, 500. I think at that, but on the 100, 200, yes. And the advantage is they can get certified products, so the consumer will get a better acceptance. No?
Okay. Yeah. Coming back to our question, what is a change in consumer, in terms of packaging style, or would they prefer a new species? What do you think?
Convenience food, convenient packaging. We've been working, for example, in a new packaging for ready-to-eat, ready-to-cook products, packagings. In other countries, I mean UK, France, and in Germany also starting this ready meals delivery. Is a frozen, defrosted, take your home, heat it and eat. And because of the lockdown, people are eating at home, so they are bored of eating the same thing. So they buy those ready meals, ready to eat, ready to cook, more and more. For India, I would say, I think I heard from a colleague, a friend of mine, India is supplying, for example, countries like USA and this offer ready to cook meals, for example. So these companies, what they do, they buy the frozen product, and they deliver. They just relabel with the defrosting date, and they deliver to the customer. It goes in defrosted state, so actually saves a lot of cost as well.
Okay. The next question is on, as per an online report about Germany, there is a changing trend from consumption of red meat, like beef, pork, and all that, to healthier food items like seafood. If this is true, what is the expected growth in import of seafood? In such a case, what will be the demand of Indian tuna and the preferred products in tuna?
Yeah.
It's a very long question.
Now, it is an interesting question because red meat and then red tuna. I mean, it makes sense. It did make sense. The only difference is availability. So when you say tuna, the meat is produced in Germany. Products of Germany. The tuna will have to be imported. Yeah. So the German market is pushing the retailer. That's going to go through the retail, not the food service. In terms of food service, will be very difficult for tuna to replace red meat. On the retail, the younger generation are more health conscious, so they are willing to spend a little bit more. The only problem is retailers are going to MSC certified tuna. I myself, I only do MSC certified tuna. I don't do normal tuna steaks. And when they talk about tuna in Germany, the first thing that German people think is canned tuna. They didn't think exactly tuna steaks.
Right. Which products, you think tuna steaks will be more popular, more preferred by the customers in Germany especially?
In Europe, I would say UK is more popular, but I mean in Germany, tuna steaks, if MSC certified, yes, they could get, but not in the top 10 ranking. No.
Okay.
Of seafood.
Yeah. Thank you. You are talking about MSC certification. Next question is about MSC certification. What is the share of MSC, Marine Stewardship Council, or ASC, Aquaculture Stewardship Council certified seafood in Germany, and the main distribution channel for these products? Has there been any change? Okay, please. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Please answer.
I love this question because I only work with MSC, ASC, friend of C, all certified products, sustainable labels, BAP, 4 stars. And the share, for example, to give an example, salmon. 90% of the salmon sold through the retail is MSC anyway.
Wow.
ASC, sorry, MSC, no. ASC. Is a salmon, Atlantic salmon. The tuna, I do not have a percentage, but most of the canned tuna, I think 60-70% would be MSC certified on the retail only. The food service, that is non-certified as well, of course. But I think certification for the German consumer is a big. It counts a lot. It is an entry. It doesn't mean that you're gonna get more for your money, or they are not willing to pay more for it. They expect it.
Okay, it's a minimum requirement.
Is a entry.
Okay. Has there been any change in the consumption or demand trend of such certified food, that is MSC and ASC? If yes, what is the reason? Why people are consuming more of certified food? What is the reason?
The reason is the campaign that ASC, MSC has, for example, which is the biggest brand sustainable label in Europe, is it has been the they did a marketing together with WWF, which has a big credibility into the German consumer. The German people are very conscious about sustainability, planting the green. They are very, personally speaking, they are very attached to the nature, to the sustainable ways. And because the seafood consumption increased through the retail, the retailers felt obliged to impose MSC, ASC, friend of the sea, not so much, but I mean BAP, something like that.
Okay, understood. So what is
the connection with the growth?
Okay, so the basic reason is the consumers they have a preference for sustainable food, whether it is seafood or normal other food. And because of the demand from the consumers, the sales of these certified foods have increased.
Because it was from the retail sales of seafood grew in the last 10 years. It grew together with the discounters as well, Lidl, Audi, and this. So it is all together growth, no?
Okay. What is the price difference between a normal, uncertified seafood and a certified seafood? Is there any price difference?
There should be some.
Okay.
The problem is the German people do not expect to pay more for it. They expect to be certified, otherwise they shouldn't be there.
Okay.
So German consumers I started the presentation. I hope people do not take it wrongly, but I do not know another word from stingy. It's like
they're very conservative in
conservative in spending.
Yeah.
Correct. They spend money in their cars, in their houses, in solid things, but on food, not so much. Like the French, the Portuguese, the Spanish, Italians, they spend much more in food than the Germans, the British.
Okay. And now coming back to the last part of our question, is Friend of Sea certification popular in Europe? You mentioned, but if it is popular, what is the market share when compared to MSC?
I don't think they will have I like him very much, the founder, but he's not very popular.
Not very popular.
For the consumer perception, not.
Okay.
If it is friend of the sea certified, even myself, I'm not so familiar. What would be the difference? So
But-
it's not that popular, I think.
So you mean MSC is able to differentiate more when compared to friend of sea?
Because they got the consumer confidence.
Okay.
It's a label that sells by itself.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. And the next question is, what are the major distribution channels for seafood at present, post-COVID? And which are the leading seafood selling outlets?
Retail, supermarkets. They only open shops. If you see all this lockdown, all the non-essentials shops are closed. Most of in many of the countries, and some of the countries are going to impose more and more. So we're going to have a Christmas without having toy shops open, for example. The main distribution channel is the retail post-COVID or during COVID, and it will continue. I think that people will get used to that, because another reason is, what is the post-COVID means? Many of the major offices in the big cities, they are closing their main offices. So people are not going to work, might not work from an office anymore. They might work from home or something different, more spread, social distancing. People might not be so together anymore. I don't know if this is the time to give the main retailers, but one of the biggest retailer in Germany is Edeka. I'm talking in terms of sales.
Okay.
Edeka, then will be the Schwarz Group, which is Lidl, Kaufland.
Okay.
Then the number 3 will be Rewe.
How do you spell that?
R-E-W-E. Rewe.
Rewe, yeah.
Rev.
Yeah.
And then the number, there will be Aldi. Aldi, they have Aldi North, Aldi South, sorry. And that would be the largest.
So the number 1 is Edeka.
Edeka is absolutely very big. It's a huge retail. In UK would be the Tesco. In France would be Carrefour. That would be the equivalent of that.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Next question is, what are the leading brands in seafood sector in domestic market of Germany? And what is the consumer response to new or innovative products launched in the market?
This is probably one of the best outlets for seafood sales, because they are branded, they have the consumer confidence, and they are into the retail. So this is the formula. I think if you are into one of them, you are good in Germany. Number 1 brand, Deutsche See, is the absolutely biggest. This is the biggest. They buy the raw material, they repack or they reprocess, they marinate. They are a reprocessing company, but they are a retailer as well. Not only retail, they have a food service. They are giants.
Okay. They are both in retail as well as in food service.
As well as food service.
Processing. Okay.
And processing. Of course, they smoke salmon. They do everything. The shrimp, they marinate it. They smoke even shrimp. Number 2, Iglo, which used to be the same part. They used to be together, Deutsche Iglo, but I mean, they are neighbors. There was a big group. Number 3 is actually one of the largest seafood brands in Germany. Is Costa. It's part of Costa, C-O-S-T-A.
Okay, Costa. Okay.
They are one of the top, most elite brand in Germany. If you look at the Iglo, is a very popular brand. But if you say Costa, they are premium brand. Costa, it is expensive, but most of their products, all of their products is repacked in Europe. They don't buy and sell directly from the origin, but they import a lot of seafood. Follow Fish is another good, it's not as big as them, any of them. It's a smaller brand, But it is a very good company. It's a very good sourcing. They are very good in organic as well as.
Can you repeat the name?
Follow Fish is a one word. Follow Fish.
Okay, Follow Fish. Okay.
Yeah, this is I admire them a lot. They are very smaller, but it's a very good job, very good packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the Escal. Escal, it is also a smaller brand compared to Iglo Costa, but it is there as well. And we have Royal Greenland. Royal Greenland is a processor as well in Germany. No, it's like a Greenland seafood, and
okay.
These are the main brands in Germany. But I think the main brands are the top 3. Okay. And then I think Follow Fish, I admire them. But that's it.
Follow Fish and Escal and Royal Greenland are the smaller brands.
Yes, I think.
Okay. So topmost 6 brands you have named, right? So the 16th question is there any special glazing requirement for the products imported to Germany?
Yes, for what India does today to Germany, which goes mostly to the food service and wholesales, there is a 20% glaze, frozen count, frozen white standard, IQF. Whether it's Black Tiger or BONMEA. But for those special brands, for example, they work on mostly net weight.
Okay.
100% net weight, chemical-free products, and maximum 10% glaze. Sometimes they ask for 20% glaze only but compensated, only because of the protection. Some countries have more. Some factories also have difficulties in getting a stable glaze, and that is the only reason. But in principle, net weight, net count, maximum 10% glaze.
Okay, thank you. I will ask couple of questions from the participants. They are giving me questions now. One question is, why is Germany not interested too much in importing fish? I think
from India.
From India, probably.
From India, because Germany is the biggest importer of fish in Europe. I think one of the biggest of fish.
Okay.
Not from India. That's a good question. I think it's culturally they are used to eat. First of all, the Indian fish would be more expensive than the Alaskan pollock.
Okay. Yeah.
As a white meat. I mean, the India, if you see a pomfret or something, I mean, it's delicious, but it's too expensive even for. I think its price is one thing. For example, why not pangasius? Pangasius lost confidence. It's a cheap fish, but it lost the consumer confidence, which used to be big in Vietnam, but now German importers, they don't buy direct pangasius from Vietnam as much, but the Dutch continues to buy. Maybe some of the Germans wholesalers, they buy from Dutch traders, which is their neighbors.
Okay. How about when you talked about pangasius, I just remembered about tilapia. How about tilapia? That is also a white meat category fish.
It is. Not as cheap as pangasius, but it used to be once upon a time a very popular. And for some reason lost popularity 12, 15 years ago. It was all this CEO treatment and this and all this thing. Well, it became so negative because of China in general.
Okay.
And then tilapia from South America, which is a kind of different species, is too expensive.
Okay. So that means there is a potential for increasing the sales of tilapia in German market if we do it properly. If we
do properly, yes.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. And now coming back to our question on the screen, it's a big question. Basically, what they are asking is, any product, any seafood imported from India to European countries, they have to go for 50% testing.
Yeah.
So samples are drawn at port, and then it takes many days, and it may lead to some demurrage and detention with port charges and all that. And that extra charges will, ultimately be borne by the exporter or the packer. So So one of the exporters is asking, what is the solution for this? Of course, we know easiest answer will be to eliminate the testing from 50% to 0% or whatever, which is not practical right now because of the government-to-government discussion is going on for a long time. But from a trade perspective, what would be your take on this?
Well, as long as there is not, for example, the only way to change that, as a government to government, there's nothing the importer can do, as you said. But suppose that, who is the biggest exporter of shrimp into India, into Germany? Sorry, is Vietnam. Okay. If Vietnam gets blocked by whatever reason, they will need to buy from someone else. Who is the second biggest potential shrimp producer of cooked shrimp into Germany? Thailand is out of question. First, they don't have enough volume. They used to be a big exporter of cooked shrimp into Germany, and it was taken over by Vietnam because Thailand has the disease, and they lost the GSP first of all. Then Thailand disappeared. India has a huge potential to take over. The only way to change that cost into the exporter is, and also you have another disadvantage. Vietnam now is in the free trade with EU, so that will be very difficult for the Indian packers to say, "No, can we share the costs?" They will say, "Well, I have cheaper than from Vietnam."
Correct.
So it will be very difficult unless we have some sort of a huge problem in Vietnam, which we should never ask. We should never wish for that. We should never wish for any problem anywhere.
Correct. Next question is, which are the peak season for seafood in Germany? Is there any seafood delicacy associated with local tradition or a festival?
There is. Unfortunately, not shrimp.
Okay.
But, we have the local catch, is the local place. In May, for example, we have the big, not festival, but it's a tradition that we all eat a whole place, pan fried. You got it, you take the head off, and you pan fry it. And they call it the May Skål. The second is, for example, in the spring, is a tradition to eat herring. The Matties herring. In the cartoons you see the Dutch herring people. That is the marinated herring, vinegar and pickled. You leave only the bones out, and you take the fish. You see in all those cartoons and eating fish.
Okay.
But in terms of shrimp or exotic food or exotic fish or something, would be Christmas, of course. Not traditionally, but in general, we have more consumption. We have more people at home.
Okay, so what you're saying is plaice and herring are the traditional fish items which are consumed during the festival season.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
And of course, in terms of festival, Oktoberfest is not seafood; it's beer. So there is many non-seafood related festivals.
Okay, Oktoberfest. Okay, that's the next question. You have answered the question already. Thank you.
What is the main festivals? Yes, during the festivals, of course, there is always food. Oktoberfest is the biggest, of course. The Christmas market is a big thing in most of the cities. We have the Carnival in Cologne. Okay. And we have the Berlin Film Festival.
Yeah, very famous.
I think the Berlin Film Festival, you have a gathering of many cultural people, so they eat more different foods.
Yes.
Oktoberfest, they will eat more chips, I think, more basic food.
Okay. Right. What is the market size of fish and seafood in Germany? What are the key campaigns or legislation driving fresh food sales now in Japan, in Germany?
In Germany.
Yeah.
Well, Germany, the size of the market is difficult to say because it's a reprocessing country. So by the import figures, you can't say that it's consumed in Germany because that's mostly we exported to other local countries. The consumption per capita of the German. So we have 85 million people, 83 million people, 82. The consumption per capita is between 13 to 14 kilo per capita. So that is more or less how we calculate what is consumed. Just to give an idea, this is only half of what Spain eats.
Okay.
Or this is only 1/5 of what Portugal eats. So this is only. I mean, if you think about the number one seafood consuming per capita is Korea with 60 kilos. Portugal is 50 kilos. Then we have Spain with 26 kilos something. So Germany is not a big seafood eater, and if they do eat seafood, it's fish.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Germany is having a higher per capita consumption expenditure when compared globally. You were just mentioning that. Is it true that the sales have adversely been affected by a variety of factors, including change in dietary preferences?
There is a change of habits, and traditionally seafood for German people is fish. So the younger generation, they are open to try new things. They are more traveled. They are reading. They travel all over the place. They eat in different foods. So I think the growth of per capita, Germany is not a very big per capita consumer of seafood, in my opinion. But anyway, but not my opinion. By the numbers, it's not. 13 kilos is not a lot. But anyway, there is a growth and a change of habits indeed. As I mentioned, seafood is associated to healthy foods, healthier eating.
Yep.
There is.
I think topmost consumer in Europe is per capita consumption is Portugal. It's about 59 kilos, almost equivalent to that of Korea.
In Europe, no. Europe only Portugal is 50. The rest is much lower. Yeah.
Correct. Now, next question. Coming to next question. What are the shares of the most common distribution channel for fish and seafood products?
Retail.
Okay.
Retail by 40% at least.
Okay.
Then is the food service. Of course, the COVID is maybe it changed a lot, maybe 60% now, but traditionally, the retail has been at 30-40%, the food service 30%. I would say maybe the retail 60%, and then food service really not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is on, it appears that crustaceans as well as mollusks and cephalopods gained better performance in consumption than fish in the recent past. Is it because of the greater diversity of seafood products offered through retail channels? Did it encourage consumers to consume more crustaceans and mollusks? Do you expect this trend will continue?
I think we continue, yes. Let's say, it appears the crustaceans as well as mollusks, cephalopods gain better performance. I think the way I start to answer this was, in terms of growth percentage, yes, there is an increasing number in percentage, but not in absolute numbers. It's still very little. It's still very little comparison, but there is a growth, okay? There is more, the younger people are more open to eat new things, new experience, new tastes, new products. But it's not in absolute terms. Do I expect to grow? Yes, it is growing.
Okay.
I mean, you see more shrimp, you see not so much squids, but marinated squid, seafood mix in that. But seafood mix is so little of cephalopods. I mean, it's just 20% of it. Okay. But yes, there are people are trying more new things, but not in absolute numbers, not compared to any other southern countries, European southern countries.
Southern European countries, yes.
Yes.
Right. Coming to next question, is it true that the pricing level for fish and seafood in the country is low due to the dominant position of discounters in retail food sector. You were mentioning about discounters.
Yeah.
Who are the leading discounters which offer a wide range of branded fish and seafood products and all the gourmet lines besides basic private label portfolio? It's a big question. Sorry about that.
No, it's a fantastic question actually, because if you look at the northern countries, including the Scandinavian, German, Scandinavian, these cold countries, whatever you can imagine, they are rich countries, but they don't spend in food. They buy cheap seafood. Why the discounters market grows so much? Because they don't have all sophisticated presentations. They grow as a discounter, basic, no bags, no this, no choices. This is what you have, you get the price. Now they develop more, so they are taking market share of the major retailers, luxury offers and this. But it is true, the German consumer itself don't want to spend money in food. So if they go to the discounter, they say, okay, I don't need to buy a Mercedes-Benz of seafood. I can buy just seafood, and that's okay for me. And the discounters, they are offering me certified products. If they are safe, they are good. That's good enough for me. I don't need people spending too much on something else. On the shops, beautiful shops. I don't need beautiful shops. I need a beautiful product.
Correct.
And then the discounters, is not because of the discounters that the price is low. It is because of the German consumer mentality.
In fact,
and the private label, yes, it is. The leading discounters is Lidl, Aldi for sure.
Okay.
They are growing all over, even the US, and they are going all over the place. And how did they grow? Optimizing logistics.
Okay. Very interesting insight. You know, one question from one of our participants is, would advertisement showcasing the nutritional benefits, health benefits, will it increase the seafood demand in Germany? This is one question. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely, yes. And sustainable. Yes,
sustainability aspects, yeah. So, right. And coming to the next question, we understand that still there is a strong segment of upscale retailers and consumers willing to spend more on quality food products. Younger and affluent consumers tend to purchase quality instead of looking for the best prices or cheaper prices. With the ongoing trends for sustainability and healthy foods, which we just discussed now, and new protein sources, do you think the future market for the fish and seafood sector in Germany are promising? Will this apply both for low price and upscale market?
Yes. If you go to Germany today, you're going to see many organic shops. Organic is for the German mentality, or the European general, or my family, and everyone is organic is clean.
Yes.
Is clean. Clean of chemicals, clean of everything. And organic is very expensive.
Yeah.
But the younger generation, when they say younger, not the 20s, but maybe 30s to 40s, to my age, to the 50s, we are eating organic food. But the older generation not.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger generation, they're not even eating. They eat not yet spending that much. But is it going to grow? There is a huge potential to grow because the discounters, for example, which they are the largest distribution channel for seafood, they are imposing certifications on the sustainable labels. So, for example, the salmon I already mentioned earlier, nearly 90% of the salmon is already ASC. So it's not about should I choose ASC or non-ASC. The only available is ASC anyway.
Okay.
I think this will be the trend for the future because sustainability is not a choice. It should be a responsibility from us importers to go to the producers. That is our job also.
Oh, thank you. Now, coming to the next question, the same point is the next question. Whether products certified or products offered with Marine Stewardship Council MSC logo fetches better and premium price for products in retail markets? How many percent in increase? And what are the products commonly marketed? You have already mentioned about salmon for ASC. Now this question is about MSC.
Lido, for example, is going to impose in 5 years' time, most of the chains will be MSC certified tuna. What is interesting for India, for example. But there is many other products which India does not export, but MSC logo. But I understood this question as a MSC because ASC is controlled, the logistic of the ASC is regulated by MSC. So anyway, MSC is huge in the retail, but it doesn't get a higher price for it. The consumer doesn't go there and say, oh, this is MSC, I buy. The consumer will pay more for organic, but not for ASC, MSC. But is MSC logo going to increase in the future? Yes. The only problem is availability.
Okay.
If one retail chain if one American retail chain adopts MSC, there is not enough for everyone.
Oh, okay. So
for example, let me give an example of, I always give to my UK customers, they promote Poland line called tuna. And I said, look, if you go to the whole world, Poland line called tuna volume, what you do in your retail chain alone is not enough. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather do MSC, which is a wider, but at least I can prove that is the volume, then to sell something that I'm sure doesn't.
Right. And in summary, what you're saying is that MSC or ASC certificate is a certification is minimum requirement. That doesn't mean that you are going to get premium price, but you need that to enter the market.
Yeah. I'll give you another example for Indian producers. I mean, there is a lot of exporters there, and when India used to produce 130,000 tons of black tigers, and these are 12, 15 years ago, 10.
Yeah.
Then that time the market was Europe, UK, and these. It was going to the ethnic markets, the same wholesales, and these never did the retail. Then came the BONMEA, and the BONMEA went in the huge volume, 300,000 tons, for example, 200,000, 300,000, 250, and it grew to 600, 700, and we're going to get the 1 million tons soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, apart from that is they need to find a market. US found the market. It was a matter of time. And then what the US imposed, BAP certification. So all the Indian packers got the certification. If India wants to get into Europe, and the BAP doesn't mean that you are better. It was an entry. Okay. All of you, in order to get to US, you have to have a BAP. So it was not, am I going to get more money for it? No, actually, probably they spend more in order to get into the US market. If the Indian exporters are willing to get into Europe, they're going to have to get ASC, especially on shrimp, for example, which is the biggest product exported to Europe. And there is more and more ASC certified now. The advantage of India is many of the Indian packers owns the farms as well.
Yes.
This is an advantage compared to Vietnam.
Yes.
Vietnamese packers, they don't own so many farmers as the Indian packers do. So ASC would be much easier for the Indian packers. Indian packers, they invested so much in machineries. I mean, later made so much business in India in the last 4 years.
Yes.
And the Indian packers already have experience on the cooking for US.
Yes.
Cooking for Europe would be a little bit more difficult. If India start to cook and sell to the same markets they used to sell to the same customer, that's not going to grow them. India have to get to the market where Vietnam is selling.
Meaning?
The retailers.
Okay, retailers.
Vietnam is selling to the retailers. UK, Germany, France. That's the biggest sales channel of frozen shrimp in Europe.
Okay. You mentioned that the cooking for USA and for Europe, it will be different than USA.
It is different.
Can you explain a little bit more?
Many
that way it is different.
in what way is different is the quality assurance system in place.
Mm-hmm.
The European, I can just say by the name, for example, is if you allow me to say, for example, Tesco.
Yeah, please.
Sainsbury's. Tesco, Sainsbury's is the UK is the #1 requirement in terms of documentation, paperwork, and they will send an auditor. It's a 500-page something audits.
Okay.
And if you're not approved, they will not gonna be able to buy.
Okay.
Then we get Germany is the second most demanding country. And they got to go to that country first of all, many of the products in Germany, they are pre-packed in Germany for safety.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a repacking in order to check the microbiome and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take the risk of taking a product direct from India into the supermarket because if there's a problem, a metal, for example, which we find a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they repack and they do.
Mm-hmm.
France is an easier country for the shrimp but it still have high demands, but documentation, food safety, sustainability, and this and that, IFS and this. And I think it's more to do with the culture of eating. The German, UK, the northern countries, they are used to eat fish.
Yes.
Their standard for fish is very good, and they want to impose the same for shrimp. Where the southern countries, Germany, Spain, Portugal, France, Italy, they are shrimp eating cultures. They eat shrimp by nature, so they know shrimp taste.
Yeah.
So they are not so much into, if you have the certifications, you can get in.
All right.
And also the product form. I mean, for British people, fish fingers comes, you catch fish fingers like that.
Yes.
For Spanish people, shrimp have a head. For German and UK people, shrimp comes a PPV.
Right.
Cooked PPV.
Right. Thank you. The next question is something related to what we are discussing. One of the strategies adopted by importers to boost sales is to make marketing campaigns, which gives a positive influence on retail consumption by educating the German consumers on health benefits, as well as providing instructions on how to cook various fish and seafood meals in a tasty and efficient manner. Is this applicable for all products?
All products of seafoods, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But the importer actually doesn't put a strategy. It has to be from the retail. In Germany, I'm talking about Germany, okay? In Germany, it will be the retail that is going to have to impose those marketing campaigns. Okay. What we do, the importer actually not really influence so much apart from selling the idea. What is available? The retailer has to know that is enough volume. Whatever we propose, is there enough volume? Is it safe? Is it sustainable? I think this is 3 points that is how the retailer is going to educate to eat.
Yes. So that is the key. That's the key.
Yeah.
Educate.
I think this is the key.
Yeah.
They don't know how to eat, So in Germany, I would say ready-made sauces. But sauce is so difficult to produce outside of Germany because of the ingredients approval, so many requirements. So actually, this is the biggest difficulty is the German industry. The German consumer needs to eat a German taste product. And what do they eat? Salad. They eat very basic seafood too. Mostly marinated. They eat a lot of marinated.
Okay.
But seafood in general is growing, helped by COVID as a health eating.
Yeah, healthy eating. You're right.
Health associated with seafood. Seafood associated with healthy eating. I would like to add one more thing on the COVID things I mentioned now is home eating and out eating. I mean, the home eating. People are getting bored of eating the same thing every day. When they are working, they go and eat every day something different, a sandwich, a salad, or something. Now they have to cook, and the children are complaining. So this is going to be also a great opportunity to expand eating habits, cook shops, cook shops, or cooking videos, as you mentioned. I mean, if you put viral videos of how easy to cook with your ingredients that you have in your local supermarket. Not very sophisticated eating, but oh look, take a bag of shrimp, take one sauce, mix it, and then you have a meal for your family.
Yeah. That's exactly what we are trying to do. We are going to, almost it's ready to launch. Half a dozen videos, cooking videos are going to be launched from tomorrow or in a couple of days' time. And as you said, we need to promote different cooking ideas to promote, eating of shrimp especially in Northern European market. Am I right?
Yeah.
Coming to the next question, what are the import requirements of seafood brought to EU or Germany from approved countries or establishments? I think this is a general question. If you want to say something, please.
Yeah, it is. The Germany will be following the EU. Yes, of course. I would say difference is Germany is very strict on their own. For example, the wild-caught Latin names. If you go to the southern countries, they are more lean, easier. The documentation for the Latin names, but in German, Germans are very correct people. So I say, wow, this species is not correct. So the government, the authorities are going to block. So the documentation is the same as OEU, the health certification, the basic health certification means the microbiological levels, the chemical, the antibiotics. That would be the same requirements as European Union.
Okay.
The duties will be the same. The only difference that Germany has from EU is that for the importers, the German government used to hold the duty beforehand, and then they give back on the end of the year, where the other countries were not so strict.
Okay.
But the rest is difficult. Logistics, Germany is very good. Bremerhaven, Hamburg, I mean, they are very good on that. So I think it's a very easy. Germany is an easy country to work with in terms of imports.
Absolutely.
As long as you do the EU level, general.
As long as you do the things correctly.
Normally, people do correctly. I think India had some difficulties on documentation issue. The government had that documentation issue earlier this year because of COVID. But apart from that, I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you. Next question is on value-added shrimp. What are the value-added shrimp, cephalopod, and fish products commonly marketed in Germany?
Value-added, I would say marinated. Marinated is a very... the German consumer eats a lot of marinated seafood, but a lot of breaded stew, breaded fish, breaded this. Do they eat a lot of breaded shrimp? Probably yes. But not as much as, but yes, breaded crayfish, breaded or something, breaded surimi, breaded thing. They are processors of breaded seafood as well. So when you go to sushi or products like that, I mean, Germany has the largest importing company for the sushi products as well. The Nobashi Sushi, the largest sushi Japanese food importer is located in Germany, but apart from that, I mean, yes, sushi is increasing a lot. Sushi ebi is something that normally is imported in volume. So,
okay, that's very interesting. And the second part of this question is, in your opinion, what would be the market entry strategies to be adopted to enter German market for this, especially for these value-added products?
Well, first of all, certifications.
Yeah, certification.
That's the entry. Without that, there is no entry. You can go and sell to one food service company or something, but at one point it will come certification. The second, wow, certification and food safety. These after all these normal procedures done, food safety, food quality assurance, quality of the product, then it will be price. And I don't think will be very interesting for the exporter. Then I said, wow, that price I cannot do it. I spend
Right.
$20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on the certification alone. Then I spend money into my more quality teams. I have to increase 20 more people in my factory and documentation. And now you ask for this price. Oh my God.
So it's a balance between improving the quality and achieving the certification and the price. That's a key. Right. See, I think we have reached the last question. What are the major brands of seafood products in Germany? I think you have answered that question again. If you want to answer that again, add something more, you can do that. Otherwise, next part of the question is understand these major brands offer products in the shelf-stable fish and seafood category. What is the share of these major markets in major brands in the market?
The share of the stable, shelf-stable products. I mean, we're talking about canned tuna or bonito or something like that.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, Germany traditionally has been buying the cheapest available. It used to be even Philippines or something, but then as you all know, Thai Union, the Thai bought the brands in all those brands in Europe and Germany, including Oscar, King Oscar, Belize, and everything. It is a very cheap product. The shelf-stable canned tuna is a basic food, sandwich, salad product. Whoever is cheaper. The share of private labels in Germany. Germany still have a space for private label.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say when you say brand for seafood products, I was thinking more about frozen because the shelf-stable is whoever's cheaper. Is a volume business, in my opinion, very low profit as well. If you don't have the size, you cannot do. It's like that's why they call chicken of the sea. I mean, not the brand, but
And the last part of the question, if you see, whether Indian exporters can buy a brand.
I think that would be to buy a brand in Europe would be the entry. But then, would it be worth it? If India see the export of canned tuna into Europe, it's not so much anyway.
Yeah.
So there are other places that India should invest. I would say Middle East, for example. I mean, that would be huge. If you put an Indian brand there, I mean, it would be fantastic. And so I don't think Germany would be the optimum place to spend too much money for too little return.
Okay, understood. Now, I think we have reached the last of the questions, but one more question from our participant who have asked a question right now. It's not about German market. He's asking about Japanese market. What is the possible value-added products which can be diversified to Japanese markets such as reef cod and fish pilaf, etc.?
Fish fillets?
Yeah.
Okay, to Japan. Okay, reef fish fillet. I mean, Japanese consumes a lot, but they're not so much like that. I would say, let's leave the fish aside. Let's say seafood in general. Seafood, I would say, India doesn't produce yet sushi. So if India do learn to produce sushi, I mean, there will be also some markets, Japan, Korea, to start with. But I'm not so sure about the reef fish, how would be.
Okay.
That would be for grilled or something. It could be, I don't know.
He was asking about fish pulao. Pulao is a fish with rice, fried rice.
Okay, sorry.
It's a ready to eat or ready to cook item.
Ready in India. Okay. Okay. To Japan.
To Japan.
Okay. To Japan. That would be a challenge because of
doesn't matter, I mean, you can think over this question, and there are two more questions related to dry fish and shrimp. The question related to...
Sorry, before you go on that, on the rice, I think India needs to learn to do the frozen rice correctly, because it's quite difficult on that.
Really?
Yeah, we tried in Thailand 10 years ago, and it took time for them to achieve. Thailand reached the optimum for rice, frozen rice. So
frozen rice with fish or shrimp inside.
Yeah, the shrimp fish is okay. The frozen goes okay. After that, it will be the seasoning. Why would produce a pilaf in India? It is because of the Indian taste, because you have to. That would be the advantage, right?
Yeah.
But is it to find also the correct spiciness that Japanese consumers are able to?
Mm-hmm.
For example, just to give an example between one country and another, the salt used in Thailand is the salt used in Vietnam is much saltier than the salt used in Thailand.
Okay.
So if you have a 1% of salt into the meal, it's much saltier in Vietnam than actually in Thailand. Have the same salt residue. So all the ingredients, the more ingredients you have, there's more challenges as well. For Japan, anti-caking agent was a huge issue 15 years ago. I mean, if you go to salt alone, anti-caking wasn't. There's a challenge also. The source of salt. No?
Okay. What is the potential for fresh or chilled fish or shrimp in German market?
Yes, in the UK is a huge potential. Is a growing. It has been a growing. It reduced a little bit with the COVID, but in Germany, the retailers has been very strong in frozen.
Okay.
This is a good question because that's how so different German market is. But at the same time, I see a huge opportunity for frozen seafood. Where in UK, frozen seafood had the image of a cheaper product. In Germany, you are able to have premium seafood product as a frozen.
Okay. Interesting. Now the last question is on dry fish. Is there any demand for dry fish in a European German market? If so, what are the products which has some demand in Germany?
I think if there is demand, it would be quite a specific, some ethnic markets or something, which every country have. Smoked, yes. Dry, I don't see so much as a traditional eating.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you so much. And now I think we have it was a very interesting talk, because usually we finish our webinar program in about 1 hour time. I can see it's almost 1.5 hours. Still, participants are still listening to us. That is because of the interesting answers you are giving.